amigos. Welcome one, welcome all. It's time for another exciting edition of Your Crazy English Class. That's right, you're wacky. Wacky is another way of saying chiflado. Your wacky English class, folks. It's called The Show with No Name. Welcome aboard and buckle up, because it's time for liftoff.
9, 8,
Let's
7,
go.
6, 5,
Countdown with me,
4,
folks.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go.
0. Ignition.
Come on.
Liftoff. Liftoff. 30 minutes after the hour.
Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats.
And get ready for the ride of your life.
It's Show with No Name time.
On Vaughn Radio. Let's go. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, this is the Show with No Name, an English show for you, my superstar students, my Show with No Namers, amazing people who tune in from all around the globe. That's right, even from my country. You guys know we've got listeners in Chicago, Las Vegas, California, o como decimos, California. Cali. We also say Cali. Well, wherever you're tuning in from, thank you. Thank you for learning and laughing with us every day here on the show. It is an absolute pleasure to have such an awesome group of individuals who love to learn and laugh with us every day. And remember, when this show is over, you've got tons of other great shows right here on Vaughn Radio. All you have to do is download our free app, and you can learn English wherever you may be in this hectic life that we have. Hectic, ajetreado. Yeah, ya estamos con vocabulario. Hectic. So, folks, for the next 2 hours, we're going to laugh, we're going to play, we're going to learn, and you will be challenged, of course. You can bet on that. Puedes contar con ello, puedes apostar, decimos. You can bet on that. This is the Show with No Name, and you're listening to Vaughn Radio. All right, well, folks, you want to get going? Should we kick off? Because, as you know, we've got tons of stuff to cover on today's show. So let's start with our first challenge. It's the Say What soundbite. Yes, say what? All right, folks, a quick reminder, too. If you'd like to participate in our question of the week, which last week we broke records, at least the Show with No Name record. I think we had 13 people. Maybe it was 12. I lost count. That means it's a lot of people. 12 or 13 different people who decided to practice their speaking with us here on the show. Kudos. Kudos is another way of saying congratulations. And this week's question of the week, guess what? We already have 3 people who participated over the weekend. You guys waste no time. I love it. I love it. Honestly, you guys inspire me. I'm serious. You know, I know you're like, oh, Alberto, you inspire us to learn English. Well, you inspire me to be a go-getter. A go-getter es una persona motivada. Somebody who goes and gets what they want. And you guys want to learn English and you'll stop at nothing. No hay nada que te va a frenar. So a shout out to Alfonso, Cristina, Chicago, and Carolina, because they've already participated in this week's question of the week. Talk about getting a head start. Empezando con ventaja, adelantado. If you'd like to practice your speaking, well, simply send me a voice note. Keep it at around a minute or so. I think that's fair, especially since we've had so many people participating. And introduce yourself. Hi, it's Carolina. Hi, it's Alfonso. And then tell us what food reminds you of your childhood. ¿Qué plato, qué comida te recuerda a tu juventud, tu niñez? We've already gotten some amazing answers. You have until the end of the day on Thursday, because we'll be doing it on Friday. So Friday is question of the week day where we hear from you. But remember, I've got to, get the audio, change the file type. I've got to do some technical things in order to get it all ready for the show. So if you can send it to me before the end of the day on Thursday, that would be awesome. What food reminds you of your childhood? And a shout out to Alfonso, who's already participated, but also because he suggested this week's question of the week. So you can send those over to my email address, aalonso@grupovon.com. Again, it's aalonso@grupovon.com. And also, if you have suggestions for question of the week, for double trouble, for homophones, things that you think that your classmates would find interesting or things that they would learn from. All right. And this way, wow, everybody puts in their 2 cents. Una expresión que significa cada uno mete su granito de arena. Hey, just like a normal English class, right? The more you participate, the more proactive you are, the more you're going to learn, right? So, and this is a golden opportunity, a magical opportunity, because I know it from over 20 years of experience in this business. The thing that students lack the most is an opportunity to speak, to practice their spoken English. Yeah, a lot of people, okay, I listen to podcasts every day. I read books. I do exercises with AI, or some of you take classes with Vaughn, which, by the way, if you're interested in classes, we have got everything from summer camps for the kids, which they're almost full. So don't quote me on that. Maybe there aren't any spots left. Don't sleep on it, though. No lo consultes con la almohada, because I know how this works. I know how it works. They fill up every summer, naturally. I mean, who doesn't want to learn English, or have your kids learn English, I should say. So right now you've got that opportunity. You've got our Vaughn summer camps until they fill up. You've also got Disney Vaughn English. That's another initiative we have for the kids on the weekends. For all of you Disney people out there, I'm what they call a Disney adult. Yeah, I know more about Disney than I should. Hey, some of us never grow up. Some of us have Peter Pan syndrome. That's yours truly, un servidor, and proud of it, right? If being a grown-up is another way of saying an adult, means being boring and bland, so count me out. I'd rather have that wonder of a kid. A wonder es que te preguntas todo, ¿no? Esa, wow, ¿y por qué esto? That curiosity, that wonder. Que no nos confundamos con la palabra wander. W-A-N-D-E-R is deambular. I love to wander around when I go to a new city. And I'm full of wonder, que suena como uno, wonder, W-O-N-D, right? So, vamos a decir esta frase para practicarlo en voz alta. I wonder if he likes to wander. Me pregunto si le gusta deambular. I wonder if he likes to wander. Well, hey, they're words that I get it. They could perfectly be a challenge in our homophone section because, well, the difference is a nuance, matiz, right? So aside from our courses as well, you've also got tons of special deals on online courses, on books, on materials. If you go to our website, grupovon.com, and you search for Von Tienda Promociones, you'll find materials for €1. Habla inglés como un nativo. €3.16. You want to talk about a great deal. Our translation booklets, you've got from 1 to 8, and each one is €1.60. You've got Inglés en 10 Pasos completo. I mean, it'll look great on your bookshelf. But remember, you can't just leave it on the bookshelf. You got to use the material. But it's Inglés en 10 Pasos completos. It is €52.24. Talk about a steal. Vaughn Certified Completo, another course which has audio. Remember, all of these courses are not just books. The book is where you read it, where you learn the theory, and then the audio is where you learn how to say it. And you've got that for, are you ready for this? €39.17. So if you're looking for some reading material for the summer, now's the time. I mean, I've worked at Vaughn for over 20 years now, like a long time. Okay, when you lose count, cuando pierdes la cuenta, when you lose track of how much time you've been working somewhere, it's a long time. So, and I have never, in all my years here, and now decades here, I have never seen such amazing deals. So I'm telling you now, as your teacher, as your friend, go to grupovon.com, our website, and seriously, for $50, you can get a pile of books. Like, seriously, that's it. I guess, now since we're coming up to the end of the school year in no time and nada, right? We're already in May now. And soon enough, it's going to be June. You know how fast May is going to fly by. And then June, well, half of June and school's done. And then the kids are out and they've got to, keep busy. The days are longer. So again, you've got your summer camps. You've got amazing materials. I urge you to se escribe urge, but it's instar, right? So I urge you to go over to our website, grupovon.com. Take a gander. Echa un vistazo. I know you're going to find some really amazing materials. And the best part is, we've got stuff right now on special. I mean, stuff Inglés para ligar. We've got kids' books. So there's something for everybody, for every level, and the prices are unbeatable. Trust me, I know, as I said, because I've been here long enough to see, the differences in prices and the courses. I've seen the evolution of Grupo Von as a company as well. And you're not going to find a better deal than this. So check it out. In fact, let me share the link with you if you guys are with us in the group chat. And then this way you can just click on it, and that's pretty easy. Makes it easy peasy, lemon squeezy, as the British say. You know what Americans say? Easy peasy, mac and cheesy, like macaroni and cheese. All right, so we're going to listen to this right now. This is our Say What soundbite. As you guys know, this is where we listen to something. You're going to hear it 4 times. Initially, I just want you to tell me what you heard in your best English. So this is an exercise in listening and summing things up. And hopefully before the end of the show and after the 3rd, maybe 4th listen, you'll be able to give it to me word for word. Another good thing about this exercise is we hear all different accents in all different situations. So we're really training our ear to be able to understand all kinds of different accents, dialects, cadences. And that's what you're going to find out there. Just going to New York. What do you think? There's just one accent? Yeah, there's the New York accent. But then people from New York, people who live in New York, I should say, are from the whole world. So you're going to hear the gamut. There are Australians in New York. I mean, you're going to hear everything without even leaving the island of Manhattan. So as always, pay attention and we'll see what you can get from this audio. Here's your Say What soundbite for the first time.
Innovative, creative, and tough as nails. That's the American spirit. And that's the all-new GMC Sierra 1500 pickup truck.
Yeah.
Okay. We got that. Yeah. We're just going to keep rolling here because we're rolling.
Let's roll another one.
Rolling.
Here we go.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughntown, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughntown, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovon.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughntown. That's right, folks. Vaughntown. It is definitely a life-changing experience, and you can get more information about that at our website, grupovon.com. Also, remember, if you live in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, or Zaragoza, feel free to stop by in person. All right, are you ready for your next mission? It's today's pop quiz. Pop quiz. Come on. Get pumped. Pop quiz. Motivaos. Pop quiz. Come on. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. That's right, folks. Pop quiz, examen sorpresa. Hey, and if you like quizzes, if you like trivia, well, don't forget May 5th. Now it's really right around the corner. May 5th, 2026, you've got our Vaughn Radio Trivia Night, hosted by my friends Rob and Andy, the hosts of the Lunchtime Show. I'll see you there. May 5th, 2026, and it's at the Toast Tap Room in Malasaña. All right, let's kick off today's pop quiz. This is a little excerpt from one of my books. This book is the shit. Listen carefully, because I will have some questions for you afterwards. I know you want me. I know you love me.
Are you Pitbull or what?
Well, no, but I wish I were as rich as Pitbull. Damian, why do they call this dog a pit bull?
A Pitbull, that's very interesting, huh? The story about these dogs, it's crazy. So they seem to have been created to fight bulls.
Yeah, they were bred to be bred,
that's
es que se
Criadas.
crían. Right?
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
interesting
La
because
raza is a breed.
the breed.
The
So it's
breed.
interesting because el verbo is to breed,
Yeah.
and then they are bred, sería el pasado
Perfect.
y el participio. So they're bred to fight.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bulls.
Yeah. And they're like,
Nothing but bulls.
Exactly.
But not only that, they what they used to do was digging a hole, a
Mhm.
pit, un agujero,
Yeah.
un hoyo.
hoyo. Mhm.
And so you would put the dog inside the pit and fight a bull.
Oh, man. Well,
That's why
hey,
they're called pit bulls.
only the strong survive, Damian. Only the strong survive.
And imagine what would be the only way that one dog can beat a bull. What would be the technique? Biting his testicles.
Yeah, there you go. He's got him by the balls, as we
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. Imagine biting their rah, 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 rah.
Right. And to pit, it's interesting too, because to pit somebody against somebody is enfrentarles. So they
Ah,
would
to
pit
pit.
them against so many different reasons there. And you thought it was just a rapper from Miami.
Yeah, there's so much to talk about pit bulls and so many other dogs. For example, the golden retriever.
Oh, I love how they go and retrieve things. They fetch. El juego del perro de ir a por la pelota is
Yeah.
to fetch.
Fetch, como recuperar también, ¿no?
To play fetch or to fetch.
Ajá.
And that's another way of saying that is to retrieve it. O sea, lo que estamos viendo es todos los nombres tienen sentido, pero hasta la comida. Pienso. Pienso. Comida
Pienso. Yes,
Do-
sir.
do you
Nice
know,
one.
Do you know how to say pienso in English? I
Chow?
think.
I don't know.
Hombre, podemos decir dog food, cat
Dog
food,
food,
ya,
yeah.
el animal. And you can also say chow as well. Para humanos también.
Yeah.
Ooh, my mother makes some good chow.
Mm,
Let's chow down.
vamos
And
a
that means
comer.
vamos a comer.
Yeah, let's chow down. Yeah, that's like very native, no? You don't use it very normally if you're not a native.
Well, chow down to dig in, como hemos dicho antes, cavar. Hey guys, dig in.
Let's dig in.
Excavar o cavar, todos con ¿no? los utensilios.
Yeah, con
How
los
do you say-
cubiertos.
Los
Yeah.
cubiertos,
Vamos a-
forks, knives, spoons.
Let's dig in. Nice one.
Let's-
So, what's the difference between retrieve and fetch? Because a retriever, I understand that he's a hunting dog, and
Mhm.
so when you shoot at the bird, you want your dog to retrieve the capture,
Absolutely. Your
Right?
prey, la presa. So,
recupera la pieza.
absolutely. They're hound dogs. They ain't nothing but a hound dog.
And a hound dog that's un perro de presa, right?
Yes, sabueso.
Un sabueso.
right? A
Yeah,
hound dog. And stop hounding me.
yeah.
To hound is perseguir, hacer preguntas.
Es un poco como que me acosas, ¿no?
Stop hounding
You're
me.
hounding me, dude.
Did you ever think you were going to learn so much English from pooches?
Pooches.
What is a pooch? Well, this
Mm.
is a loving way of saying a dog.
Yeah, in fact, there is. Do you know Poochie, this character of The Simpsons?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was a dog.
There you go.
Yeah,
Es que we tell our students all the time, watch more series, watch more movies, and pay attention to the names of the different characters. Because,
always.
you know, the Paw Patrol, which is very ahora, vosotros decís la patrulla canina. We say
Yeah.
paw, como la pata,
La patita, yeah.
right?
Paw.
Y canina en inglés, K9.
K9.
K9, como las ¿Qué? Are you serious?
Superagente K9 se llama así porque es K9, es un
the,
perro.
The K9 department
Yeah.
at the police.
It's
So,
unbelievable. Everything is connected. Everything makes sense. Look at Goofy.
well, I was going to say, I feel a little bit goofy right now.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I don't know too much about dogs. I love these animals, but goofy. Are you goofy? Would you
Yeah.
consider yourself a bit goofy?
At times, yeah. At times I'm very goofy. I like playing goofy.
Usually we use goofy with children. If somebody is torpe, como patoso, how would we say that in English? Damián?
Clumsy.
Clumsy.
Yeah.
Very good. Y torpe de mente, we would say absent-minded.
Absent-minded. Ausente de mente.
Que es un poco diferente. Torpe, se me olvidan las cosas, o torpe, me atropiezo en todo. I trip over everything.
Yeah. I
You-
trip over everything.
Yeah, to trip.
Yeah.
And well, I think we've got to wrap up, but I thought we could wrap up with a homophone.
Yeah.
We talked
okay.
about ciao before. Well, we also say that Italian word.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Ciao, amici.
Ciao, ciao. All right, folks. Wow, lots of vocabulary that's coming out of this book is the shit. It's available at Von Tienda. You can pick it up in person or at our website. Folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we've got tons of stuff to do. Heaps. Eso es otra forma de decir pilas, pero también significa muchísimo. Tons of stuff. Heaps of stuff to go over. So stick around. Welcome back. Welcome back, folks. This is the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. You can listen to all your favorite shows on the Vaughn Radio app. Download it for free. Go to your smartphone app shop, the store, search for Vaughn Radio and hit download, and you're done. You've got English on your phone 24/7, 365 for free. Again, that's the best part. Well, no, the best part is that the English is fun. It's not your typical English class like, vamos a repasar el presente perfecto continuo. Shut up. I'm sorry. I'm telling you right now, if I do that with my daughter, she's going to be like, yeah, Dad, whatever. But if I sing a song, right, using it, I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about you. Pues ahí se lo enseño con canciones en vez de decir, esto es el presente perfecto continuo. Blah, blah, blah. We've already tried that way. It doesn't work. People want to have fun regardless. Who said learning has to be boring? And that's our philosophy here at Vaughn. You got to have fun. You got to be excited about the subject. As Richard Vaughn says, if you love the teacher, you love the subject. It can be chemistry, it can be algebra, whatever, microbiology. But if the teacher is passionate and excited, you will jump on board. All right, let me give you today's challenges also in our pop quiz. As I said, we listened to a little audio there from This Book Is the Shit. The first one I want you to use, and as always, I don't just want you to give me words because that doesn't prove very much to me. It proves that you know the word, but I'm more concerned with the fact of, do you know how to use the word, right? In context. Are you using the right preposition? Is your grammar correct, right? Are you using the right tense? Are you making, so this is an opportunity for you to use it in a way that you would actually use it. So be practical in this section. ¿Cómo usarías esto? All right, so the first one is enfrentar a alguien contra otra persona o contra otra entidad, ¿no? Los sindicatos están enfrentando a la gente contra los, whatever. However you would use it, all right? The word is enfrentar, okay? To put people against each other. But I gave you a different way. You set them up to compete or to fight. It doesn't have to be a physical fight. It can be a competition as well, okay? That is the first one. The second one, we were talking about only the strong survive, right? That's the idea of Darwinism, that, you know, if you are the strongest one in your species, then, you know, you will continue to procreate and you will survive, correct? Well, there's another way to say that. So I want to see if you know that one. Supervivencia del que mejor se adapta. That's what they told me here on. De hecho, yo lo estoy aprendiendo en español porque no sabía. Es una frase hecha. Supervivencia del que mejor se adapta. En Argentina, supervivencia del más fuerte, que es más como eso en inglés. It's the idea of natural selection, that if you are strong, well, then you will continue to, to survive. Casi te digo la expresión ahí. All right. So I think you all get it. And the last one, since I said the word pienso, which is very easy in English, dog food, right? Pienso, dog food. Bueno, si es de gato, cat food, obviously. Pues otra frase hecha, René Descartes, and that's pienso, luego existo. All right, I'm curious to see if you know these sayings in English. They're sayings I think that everybody knows, okay? So cogito ergo sum. Was it René Descartes? Yeah, yes. Okay, I was just checking. Digo, a ver si me equivoco y no era Descartes. So René Descartes said, pienso, ¿cómo es en español? A ver si lo he apuntado. Pienso, luego existo. All right. Number one, again, enfrentar. Number two, supervivencia del que mejor se adapta. And the last one, otra frase hecha, pienso, luego existo. All right, we'll take a look at that. Also, we'll take a look at your comments on today's Say What soundbite. But let's give it a second listen here. And this way, we get a little bit closer to figuring it out. Here's your Say What soundbite for the second time.
Innovative, creative, and tough as nails. That's the American spirit. And that's the all-new GMC Sierra 1500 pickup truck.
Yeah.
Okay. We got that. Yeah. We're just going to keep rolling here because we're rolling, girl.
Throw another roll. Here we go.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mhm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así de gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
Vaughantienda.com.
It's the Shit. That's right, folks. This book is the shit, available at Von Tienda. I was just laughing over here because, well, as you guys know, we're officially in May now. But there's a meme that goes around, un meme. Remember, we don't say meme, we say meme. These internet photos with text or videos. And there's a meme that always goes around right at the end of April. And it's a meme of NSYNC, you know, the group NSYNC. And it's the song, It's Gonna Be May. And you know why? Because when he says it, it sounds like, si conocéis la canción, It's Gonna Be May. He doesn't say me, he says may. So it's almost like you're se va Julio. You know, when July is over, there's all the memes of Julio Iglesias. Well, we have our own as well. And I don't know if you guys saw it, especially if you use social media, but I saw it quite a few times. It's Justin Timberlake or, the NSYNC guys. And como al final ahí de abril, which was a few days ago, and it goes, it's gonna be May. Ahora, la canción es It's Gonna Be Me. Pero como lo dice él, it's gonna be May, el mes de mayo. So, hey, sometimes you got to explain these little things that you see, especially when it's got that kind of double meaning, that play on words. All right, let's take a look over here. A couple things I wanted to highlight from the audio that we listened to. The word breed is raza, pero de perro. We don't use raza. We don't say the word breed for raza humana. How would we say that one? The human race, right? Race. Eso es raza como carrera. De hecho, es a double trouble there, right? But for an animal, we say a breed, which comes from the word procrear, which is to breed, right? And as we said, it's breed, bred, right? It's an irregular verb. And let's see, I'll give it to you in context. I'm sure you'll understand it. Most royal families are inbred. Procreado dentro. That means endogam. What's the word? Endogamia? Is that how you say it? So, y es un homófono para pan, by the way, right? Bread. Ahora se escribe B-R-E-D. O sea, es la palabra bread sin la A, pero suena igual y viene otra vez del verbo to breed. Okay. So careful. You wouldn't say, he's of white breed. No, he's a Caucasian, in the Caucasian or black. That's your race. Okay. Then we looked at the word chow, to chow down. That's another way of saying eat. Chow is food. So chow down es como decir a comer. Todos a comer. Let's chow down. Let's dig in. Those are what we would call here on the show totally native. So next time you go out to eat with your English teacher, or you're with a group of business partners and you're they speak English, instead of saying let's eat, I want you to say let's chow down, let's dig in, and you'll impress the crap out of them with that one. Again, these are the things I like to teach you here on the show and in my books. These things that you either know them or you don't. So I like to make sure that you do. All right. We looked at the word pray. There's another homophone. Speaking of homophones, we haven't even gotten to the homophone section. Pray es rezar con A-Y, right? And also pray with an E con E-Y, which is presa. Pero también es perseguir, cazar, right? He preys on vulnerable people, ¿no? Su presa es ataca, caza, right? Prey. So there's a good way to remember it. I pray that they don't prey on me, right? Rezo que no me cacen, no vayan a por mí, que yo no sea la presa. Another one too, hound, which we heard there. You all know it. If you're Elvis fans, you ain't nothing but a hound dog. Perro sabueso, speaking of hunting and prey. But also, as we said, stop hounding me. As Damian said, acosar, acribillar. Like, all right, man, I said, okay, stop hounding me. Another word for dog, a cute word, no, una forma muy linda de decirlo. Oh, look at it, what a cute little pooch. Right, the same way a cat, we say kitty. Hey, kitty. Hey, kitty, kitty. Hey, pooch. Right, so those are like other ways to say it that aren't cat and dog, and they're a little cuter, right? It reminded me also of the expression to be in the doghouse. All right, well, I think you guys say relegado al sofá. This is when you said something you shouldn't have said, or you did something you shouldn't have done, or you forgot someone's birthday, and your wife says, here's a blanket, here's a pillow. See you later. So we say, aunque estés durmiendo en la cama, pero la idea es, me han relegado a la casa del perro. So you say, look, in English, vas al sofá. En español, vas al sofá. En inglés, directamente, con el perro. So to be in the doghouse means you did something you shouldn't have done. You're being castigado, punished. We looked at the word paw. There's another homophone. Paws, patas de perro o de animal, paws, sounds like the word pause, pause, right? There's another, wow, we're looking at a few different homophones here in our audio clip. So paw, we know it. If you've seen in English, you say patrulla canina, we call them the paw patrol, and all of their names mean something. El que es bombero es marshal, mariscal. El que persigue a todos es chase, perseguir, persecución. So again, if you pay attention, you can even learn from Paw Patrol. That's up to you. You got to have the right mindset. And that's what these books are all about. This book is the milk. This book is the shit. This book is the milk too. They teach you how to approach anything, whether it's a song, a movie title, whatever it is, so you can extract all the English that's in it. Another expression that I love, in fact, I'll teach you two, that mean the same thing. The dog's bollocks. Have you heard this one? Bueno, bollocks es una palabra bastante británica, pero sí que usamos la expresión que es las pelotas, los testículos del perro. You know what it means? La bomba, la leche. Yeah. Imagine if somebody, I'm imagining Twitter now, Twitter, which translates everything now, which is absurd because they don't translate, I mean, they don't know expressions. It translates everything literally. So si alguien lo pone, oh man, that football team is the dog's bollocks. Ese equipo de fútbol son los testículos del perro. What? Yeah, well, don't trust online translations. I'm telling you right now, I find mistakes every day. It doesn't get expressions. Not yet, at least. Also, el pijama del gato. You know this one? The cat's pajamas. It's another way of saying awesome. Man, you are the cat's pajamas. You are the dog's bollocks. Okay? Also, we looked at clumsy. Clumsy means you're physically bumping into things and dropping things. Another way to say that too is accident prone, que siempre te estás haciendo daño, cayéndote. Prone is propenso. So if you're prone to having accidents, pero es un adjetivo. Johnny has always been very accident prone. Okay? And as we said, torpe, que se te olvidan las cosas, torpe más en el sentido de mentalmente, psicológicamente, you are absent-minded, que creo que si lo dices queda claro. No estás ahí, no estás presente en tu mente. You're absent-minded. All right, just a couple things I wanted to highlight from that chapter of This Book is the Shit. As I said, the book is the shit. It's the dog's bollocks. It's the cat's pajamas. Que los tres significan exactamente lo mismo. Let's see. We've got a lot of students checking in here in our chat room. Let's see who's with us and ready to participate and practice their English with us. There's Born to Iron Man, our buddy, our superstar, our ambassador. And he says, hello, friends. What's up, buddy? Great to have you on board. I trust you did hundreds of kilometers during the long weekend because last Friday was Labor Day, Día del Trabajador. We call it de la labor, Labor Day. It's a different day in the United States, but we do have a Labor Day holiday. So I'm sure Born to Iron Man, knowing you didn't take it easy. You went ham. You know this expression? Toma, expresión nativa. Ham is an acronym that means hard as a motherfucker. O sea, lo diste todo. Fuiste a full. You always go ham. Yeah, ham como jamón. H-A-M. In fact, any Jay-Z fans, Jay-Z, el rapero, tiene una canción que creo que es Jay-Z and Kanye West, puede ser. And it's called Ham. H.A.M. And that's hard as a motherfucker. O sea, ir a full, darlo todo. So that's a good word to describe you, my friend. All right, we've got Kay Roller Girl ahead of the game this week in our question of the week. She's already participated, so that is awesome news. And she has something to say regarding our Say What soundbite. It's a tough one today because some of it's easy, but there are a couple lines in there that aren't really clear. So, but also remember this, that's life. You know, how many times have I walked down the street in New York y digo, he pillado el final de la frase. No he pillado el final de esa frase porque hay una sirena, porque se me corta la línea. So that happens too. Not everything is the same level of clarity, right? So that's part of any listening in life. And she says the sound of the day seems like a variety show. Absolutely. Wow, good ear. And the man who's talking is bragging about, great vocabulary, to brag, to show off. Fardear, is that how you say that? About the American spirit, hard work, determination, and pride. And he ties those values to the all-new GMC Sierra 1500. Wow. Roller Girl. Excellent. Good ear. I think you'll get it. Creo que lo vas a captar palabra por palabra. You got the gist of it, definitely. All right, so as she said, it's a variety show, or as we call this kind of show, a talk show, right? Like a late night, Jimmy Fallon, you know, these kind of shows. And basically, the guy, the host, el presentador, I'll give you the context here. The host says, oh, man, you do a lot of voiceovers. Haces muchas locuciones, no? Voz en off, locución. So obviously the guy's got a good voice. And he goes, oh, yeah. In fact, if you don't mind, I'm going to take advantage of the fact that here we are, we're mic'd up, tenemos micros aquí, y pues no, voy a hacer algunos aquí mismo, en medio de la entrevista. Obviously, it's a joke, but he pulls out some scripts, saca unos guiones y empieza a leer diferentes textos, ¿no? Okay, y ahora con el nuevo chicle tal. And he's like, okay, next one, keep it rolling, que siga, seguís rodando. And he's like, this way I killed two birds with one stone. He's being interviewed about a new project, and at the same time, he's pretending. Obviously, he's not really recording voiceovers, but that's the running joke. So good ear. Okay, Roller Girl. All right, let's see. Born to Iron Man. He says the Tour de France 2026 will pit Tadej. Oh, sorry. Excuse my ignorance here when it comes to sports. I don't know too much, especially about cycling. The Tour de France 2026 will pit Tadej Pogacar against Jonas Vingegaard. Now, I don't know those names, but you know what I know? That you know what you're talking about. Not just with the Formula One. Not Formula One. Oh, my God. Para que veas cuánto sigo el deporte. Great. Yeah. To pit somebody against somebody else, right? They're always pitting the workers against the unions, for example. Okay, te doy otro ejemplo ahí. So to pit, y otra vez lo vimos con pit bull, right? The pit bull. So they fought in a pit, en un hoyo. They pit them against each other, right? Also pit, aside from being a hole, is una cantera. Think about it, un agujero grande, okay? Also, a pit is what you'll find in fruit or olives, aceitunas, hueso, carozo. Oh, I've never heard the word carozo. So remember, that's a false friend there. It's not bone, right? Oh, are there bones? Bones en pescados, que ahí no lo llamáis hueso, lo llamáis espinas. That's funny. Are there bones in this fish? I feel like there are bones in this fish. Well, pit are como semillas, huesos, okay? So it's a very rich word, and mira, arena, círculo. So now you can see why. And say, speaking of Formula One, el garaje, the pit, right? Y si lo piensas, está como, no hay como una depresión, right? Also, if we say something is the pits, es lo peor. Oh, man. Waking up early is the pits. Es lo peor. Y también to pit, deshuesar. Are these olives pitted? All right, so very, very rich word. Acuérdate, no es Pete. Pete es mi amigo. Pit. Vamos a decirlo todos juntos. Pit. Pit. Es cortito y no es una I latina. Okay, it's a very difficult sound for for Spanish speakers learning English. I know, because la I latina. You go I latina for all of them, and I get it. But just so you know, it's not Pete. It's Pit. Pit. Okay, the next one. He says, in our world, it's not always survival of the fittest, a rule of thumb. Okay, te lo cambio un poco. In our world, survival of the fittest isn't always a rule of thumb. Great. Survival of the fittest. Literalmente. El más en forma es el que sobrevive. Survival of the fittest. Okay, again, it's tied to this idea of natural selection. Darwin, right? Darwinism. Mr. Charles Darwin. All right, and the last one, he says, I think, therefore I am, is a sentence by Descartes. Wow, great job. Born to Iron Man. You know your stuff. Sabes de lo que hablas. Excellent job. Folks, we've got to go to a quick commercial break. I can't believe it. We are flying through the show today. We're going ham. Hard as a motherfucker. If you don't want to say that word, you can say mofo. No dices la F-U-C-K. But bueno, I'm not here to, teach you what's right or wrong. I'm here to teach you what people say, right? Don't shoot the messenger. I didn't make up ham, but I think it's cool. Man, if we're going to win this game, we got to go ham. Hard as a motherfucker. All right, we'll be right back, folks, with much more totally native English. So stick around. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back. This is the show with no name. We are in the second half of today's show. Wow. Time really does fly when you're having fun. And don't forget to have fun and learn with all my amigos here on Vaughn Radio. You've got the Pro Bow Show with Rob Grams. No Excuses with Fitz. The Hour to Empower with Jessica Fernandez. Don't forget about the Lunchtime Show with Rob and Andy. Speaking with Confidence with Ale. Let's Get Random with Jules Linares. Speak English with Ruby. The Salad with Dave Boys. Drive Time with Kyle Miller. and Richard Vaughn. Richard Vaughn's going to be at the trivia night. He never misses it, especially if his daughter's hosting. Well, it's a great time. As I said, we always look forward to the Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. It's that one day of the month where I go out for a few hours. I don't go out very much. I don't feel the need. No tengo esa necesidad ya. I think I've gone out enough in my life for like 10 lifetimes. I'd rather save my money for a trip, un viaje, than a bar or a club or something. Now, imagine if I had said that in my 20s. Maybe I'd be rich by now. Hey, que me quiten lo bailao, as you say in Spanish. What's done is done. No regrets. All right, amigos. Are you ready for a challenge? All right. I know you are. I got to ask anyway. It's time for today's Homophones on the Show with No Name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
All right, my amigos. Let's take a look at these homophones over here. As always, I'm going to give you two words. They may be homophones. Maybe they're not. You tell me. But first, I want to know what the words are. Are you familiar with the words? Do you know how to write them? And then afterwards, I'd like to know if you know how to say the words naturally. Now, the first word is an instrument. Okay, it's bajo. Okay. Bueno, es también los bajos en la música. You've got the treble, I think los agudos, is that what you call that? Okay, so it's el bajo, my voice is también, right? I don't have a high-pitched voice like Mickey Mouse. My voice has a lot of bajo, graves. I think you also say graves too, right? If I'm not mistaken. All right. So you've got el bajo, también contrabajo, but we call it a stand-up. Okay, you call it contrabajo. Also, it's the part of a harmony, right? Los graves también. So, yeah, that is the word over there. Okay. The second word has several meanings. Es una base, como base militar. Cimiento de un edificio, right? Basis, ¿no? Como la base de este programa, de este método, ¿ok? Referencia, ¿ok? También es pie de una montaña, ¿ok? Estamos en el pie de la montaña. That's another way to say that. It's also basar en, right? So, esto lo baso en tal. También significa vulgar. También se usa en béisbol, esas bases también, ¿ok? En la química se usa base, right? A chemical compound, ¿ok? And, yeah, bueno, y tiene otros significados, but those are some of the most common uses of that word. So, wow, the first word's got many meanings, but they're all kind of related. And the second word has got a lot of meanings, and they're not necessarily related. So, what are those words, and do they sound exactly the same or not? Also, I'm going to give you guys the Say What soundbite. Here, you're going to get it for the third time. Hopefully, somebody will be able to figure it out. We'll see. Here goes.
Innovative, creative, and tough as nails. That's the American spirit. And that's the all-new GMC Sierra 1500 pickup truck.
Yeah.
Okay. We got that. Yeah. We're just going to keep rolling here because we're rolling, girl.
Roll another.
We're rolling.
Here we go.
Me pregunta el del chiringuito si quiero hacer kitesurf o wakeboard o si prefiero tomarme un bitter cass antes. Me acaba de decir 5 palabras en inglés. Kite, que significa cometa, surf, que es obviamente hacer surf, pero también significa oleaje. Wake, que es estela, en este caso la estela del barco. Board es tabla y bitter es amargo. Y justo antes, cuando le pregunté si hablaba inglés, me dijo:
Pero patatero.
sabemos mucho más inglés de lo que creemos. Solo nos falta asimilarlo y situarlo. Aprende a aprender inglés en cualquier lugar con This Book is the Milk y su secuela, This Book is the Milk 2. Te enseñaremos cómo enfocar el inglés, aprovechando todo el inglés que tenemos alrededor y de una manera divertida y adictiva. The Remilk ahora se llama This Book is the Milk 2 y viene con audio y nueva portada. Descúbrelos ya en vaughantienda.com. That's right, folks. Vaughn Tienda. You can pick up tons of amazing materials right now. And for peanuts, cacahuetes, también peanuts es poca cosa, pero tirao, as you say, tirao de precio. In fact, as I said, in all my decades working with this company, I've never seen such awesome prices on our materials. We also have special deals on some courses as well. What I recommend you do is, if you're a social media user, you go over to your favorite social media platform and you search for Grupo Vaughn and give us a follow. And this way you'll know what's going on in the Vaughn sphere, La Esfera Vaughan. You'll find out about special deals, events, and all kinds of interesting things that may come up along the way. All right, let's go over here to our chat room. We were taking a look at today's homophones. And let's see, Born to Iron Man has something to say here. Okay, the rest of you don't. I didn't think it was that difficult. But I guess the rest of the people in the chat, I stumped you. To stump, dejar atónito. Let's take a look. Stump. ¿Cómo se dice stump? Desconcertar, puede ser. Stump, sí, tocón de un árbol. Dejar sin palabras, no tener respuesta, dejar mudo. Oh, wow. Guys, I didn't think it was that difficult. But Born to Iron Man, as I said, survival of the fittest over here. And let's see what he said. He said the word is correct. Yes, the second word is also correct. And he says they sound alike. All right. Well, there's one way to figure this out right here. The word bajo, right? Boom, 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 right? Y también graves and all the other uses, contrabajo, okay? That is bass, okay? There's a song by Meghan Trainor. Is that her name? It's all about that bass, no treble. I'm all about that bass, no treble. Bass is dos graves. And the treble is like the tinny part, como decimos, como aluminio, la parte menos atractiva, I think, there. So that first word is bass. And the second word, bass. Vamos a decir, él toca el bajo en una base militar. He plays the bass on a military base. Yes, sir. See, folks, it wasn't that difficult. Not for Born to Iron Man. That is right. Now, the big problem here is that first word, B-A-S-S, it can also be bass, which is lubina. That's right. Now, I get it. ¿Por qué no han puesto otra palabra? I don't know. I wasn't born when they made that decision. I'm just telling you so you don't fall into that trap there. So, bass, B-A-S-S, lubina, right? We always talk about in the States, it's very popular, Chilean sea bass, no? De Chile. And bass is the instrument. It's almost like the word tear and tear, right? Tear is lágrima, tear, romper, right? Or wind and wind, or minute and minute. Minute es muy pequeñito. Okay. There are words that, well, they have two different pronunciations. In fact, I think on my social media a while back, I made a video where I highlighted a bunch of these words that, depending on what context it's used in, it'll be pronounced one way or another. So, in this case, I said bajo, which is bass, bass. And the other one, base, is bass. Bueno, piénsalo, baseball, right? He plays the bass and plays baseball on a military base, okay? So as I said, some other uses of that second word, base. The floor lamp has a large base, okay? La lámpara tiene una base muy grande. The base of the house, or the foundation as well, we say, is solid concrete, hormigón, okay? Another one, basis. The Bible provides the base for most Christian beliefs. Base también, the main ingredient. The sauce has a tomato base. We already said base militar, right? There's a base in broken. What? Sí, en rota. Sorry, I couldn't help it. Also, you've got one in moron. You say moron? Well, in English, just so you know, the word moron is idiota. I always thought the base names were funny. Bueno, Torrejón ya no. That's normal, right? But moron of the front of the border. Morón de la frontera, is that what it is? Hombre, no es lo mismo morón que moron. And then, as I said, you've got rota, so those are bases. You've got the base of the mountain, okay? We stood at the base of the mountain and looked at the summit. La cumbre, que también es una cumbre cuando se juntan mucha gente de una industria, right? Also, this book is based on, no, está basado en, it's based on a true story, basado en hechos actuales, reales, perdona. His base comments offended us. Sus comentarios vulgares en ese caso. Okay. Also, we've got an expression to cover your bases. To cover your bases means that you've done your homework. You've got everything thought out. Lo tienes bien pensado. Okay. Also, to touch base. Lo usamos siempre en los negocios. Let's touch base later this week. Okay. Nos ponemos en contacto, establecemos contacto luego esta semana. To touch base. Also, when we were kids, just so you know, if you go to first base, second base, third base, or you go all the way, it has a sexual euphemism as well. Okay? Did you make it to first base? Yeah, eso es un besito. Second base, you're touching things. Third base, there's oral stuff. And if you go all the way, there's penetration. I won't get into too much detail. You can look it up on your own. So, yes, to get to first base, besarse, right? Second base, bueno, ya te lo he explicado. You can look it up if you want. Grado 2 pone aquí, pero no, grado 2, esto es toqueteo. Third base is, when you're a teenager, that's everything. Hey, man, how did it go last night? I got to second base. Eso es me toqué teta. Translation. Okay. So just so you know, that second word, wow, wow, and wow. And again, those two idiomatic expressions. Let's touch base. Contactamos, hablamos. La semana que viene concretamos. Also, as I said, he covered his bases. Eso es que ha pensado en todos los posibles desenlaces, ha hecho sus deberes. If you've covered your bases, it means you've done your homework. So excellent job. Born to Iron Man. Speaking of covering your bases. And remember, if you're talking about a fish, se escribe igual que la primera, pero se dice bass. I always tell this story, but one of our listeners is Josemi Carmona from Ketama. And I should find the show. I think it's on YouTube. And I was like, bueno, esto es, you play the bass. And he's like, espera. ¿Bass dices? Digo, yeah, bass. Pero no es bass? Digo, no, tío, es bass. And he's like, espera, ¿me estás diciendo que llevo 20 años diciendo a la gente que toco la lubina? I'm like, yeah, básicamente. Hey, live and learn. Así se aprende. All right, folks, another way we learn is by reading real reviews.
First of all, what went through my mind is how stupid am I to actually volunteer for this?
Real reviews.
Real reviews found online.
Real reviews.
It was unbelievably painful.
That's right, folks. All right, today we're going to a florist. Yeah, a flower shop, a florist. You say the same thing, floristeria, no? Well, I figured, Mother's Day. By the way, happy belated Mother's Day to all you mommies out there. What would we do without you? Thank you. Well, the mommies in Spain. In the United States, Mother's Day is a different day. Yeah, Mother's Day and Father's Day in the United States are always, they fall on a different day than in Spain. But it doesn't matter. You can say Happy Mother's Day twice. Why not? So, all right, let's go. We're going to a florist today to get a bouquet. A bouquet es un ramo, right? We use the French word here because, well, we want to sound bourgeois, to use another French word. Bouquet, ramo, bouquet. También decís bouquet. I never saw that before. All right. So, yes, we are going to the florist today. Let's see what we find in real reviews. I just received my birthday flowers a day late. Oops, ya estamos mal. The flowers were old, along with the chocolates. Vamos a pronunciar esa palabra. No es chocolate, sino chalk, como tiza, y luego lit, encendido. Dos sílabas, ¿eh? Olvídate esa O por medio. Chocolate. So the flowers were old along with the chocolates. Y hablando de flour también es harina. F-L-O-U-R. ¿Cuántos homófonos hemos visto en el programa? Madre mía. So the flowers were old along with, junto con, the chocolates. The chocolates were warped and dried. Now, warped. Esta es una palabra que no sé decir en español. Mira, combado, alabeado, deformado. Esa sí que lo sabía. Warped. So distorted due to the heat. Debido al calor, estaban deformados. That means the chocolate is probably bad. It was sitting in the sun or it wasn't refrigerated. Also, if you're warped, y hablamos de tu cabeza, you're like, oh man, he is warped. Pues retorcido, pervertido, distorsionado, ¿no? Piénsalo, deformado, pero tu cerebro en este caso. Man, how could you even think of that? That's pretty warped. Okay, it's another way of saying twisted, right? What did you say? You are twisted, retorcido. You are warped. Okay, de hecho hay una gira de música muy común, no sé si sigue, pero al menos cuando yo era un chaval, que se llamaba The Warped Tour. Y me acuerdo de ver unos grupos súper buenos. So the chocolates were warped and dried, secos. The packaging, el envoltorio, seemed as to be nibbled on by rats. Wait, yeah, that's what I said. Nibbled is like mordisqueado by rats. Yeah, that is scary. And since this is a flower shop in New York, I believe it. Yeah, hey, you got to put everything in context in life. And sometimes I think there are more rats in New York than humans, right? So the packaging seemed as to be nibbled on. Okay, to nibble es como mordiscos, pero pequeñitos, by rats. Ojo con esta palabra también, ratón, mouse. Rata, rat. Y una rata, remember we were talking about being thrifty last week. In English, if you're a rat, eres un soplón, un chivato. No tiene que ver con el dinero que gastas o no gastas, okay? Then the person says, how could they possibly deliver flowers and chocolates in this condition? how do they expect to get any referrals? And a referral is recomendaciones por otra gente, right? A lot of businesses are looking for referrals, but how do you get a referral? Well, by doing a good job, right? Every time I go to a restaurant or someplace and I had a good time, I tell people, oh, tenéis que ir aquí. But the same thing happens if I had a bad time, like, oh, no, the food was overpriced. And so you get referrals through word of mouth. And in these days, word of mouth is not just, physically speaking to somebody, but also leaving a comment on Google. Anyone can do it. So that is the first review. Another review, same place, mismo sitio. Bad for business. Esto está en caps lock, o sea, todo en mayúscula aquí. Bad for business. Incredibly poor service. I don't recommend this place at all, en absoluto. Okay, poor es otra forma de decir malo. Okay, poor. No significa pobre en este caso, sino malo, ¿no? De baja calidad. The delivery driver, el que lo entregaba, was incredibly rude. Rude is very impolite, maleducada. She hung up the phone on me, me colgó, and declined my calls, and then proceeded to block my phone number. Oh, boy. Then she says, since no one was answering, I had no idea where my flowers were going or if she took them back, si los devolvió al sitio. This store contacted me, and I asked for the delivery driver's name. Well, whoever I spoke to was telling their coworker our convo. Convo is another way of saying conversation. Es corto para conversation. O sea, the person that she was talking to was relaying the information to her coworker next to her. And she's going to say, just make up a name. Like I didn't hear what she said. O sea, ¿habéis entendido? Dice, le está contando, transmitiendo lo que estamos hablando, y dice, le voy a inventar un nombre para que se calle. Now, I guess maybe this person thought the phone was on mute, but it wasn't, because the customer, the client, was hearing the entire conversation, as she says. Then she says she was incredibly rude to me after telling her my experience. She then also hung up on me. Me colgó. ¿Ves la estructura ahí? To hang up on someone. She also hung up on me. And now they won't answer my calls. I have no idea where my flowers actually are. That stinks because, well, in that case, you got to get a refund. Well, in both cases, I want a refund. And for the first one, I think I would need, somebody to pay for a psychiatrist. You're sending me stuff that's been nibbled on by rats? Oh, boy. And the worst thing, or / best thing, depending on how you look at it, is that these reviews are there forever. So next time you're looking for a florist shop, make sure you avoid this one. Man, that is crazy. The rat thing? Wow. Okay. And the customer service, or lack thereof, como decimos, carencia de. Folks, we're going to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. We've got so much more to go in the fourth and final part of today's show. So if I were you, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Yes, welcome back. Welcome back to the fourth and final part of today's show with no name on Vaughn Radio. We'll see you tomorrow. Well, depending on when you're listening to this, I might as well give you the full date on May 5th. May 5th. It's gonna be May. No, it is May. May 5th. Our Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. It's at the Toast Tap Room in Malasaña. Be there or be square. O sea, el que no se apunte, vamos, se lo pierde. Square es un aburrido. Now, if you live outside of Madrid, you have an excuse. But if you live in Madrid, what better plan do you have? I know there's Champions League, but who cares? Really? Well, I guess if you're an Atleti fan. But as a Madridista, you guys know we have a nadaplete this year. Big shout out to Mbappe and his mother. Hey, las cosas como son. I hate prima donnas. I don't care what industry they're in. I hope he's enjoying his vacation in Italy while the rest of the team is trying to, trying to at least wrap up the season so it's not a total failure. Anyway, I don't like to talk football. You don't want to hear my opinion. It's never good. And don't even ask me about Tebas. Oh, jeez. I saw a meme yesterday. They're like, why does he talk like Alvin? He looks like Nosferatu, and he talks like Alvin from Alvin and the Chipmunks. And now I can't unsee it. ¿Te sabes esta expresión? I can't unsee it. Ya cuando lo has visto, no puedes borrarlo. No, to unsee something is ya está ahí en mi mente para siempre. All right, folks, let's rock and roll because we've got a lot of stuff to cover. And right now it's time for another challenge. It's today's double trouble. Oh, no, triple. Oh, boy.
Double trouble, baby.
Born to Iron Man, they're going to leave you alone here. I can feel it.
Give it up.
But you can handle it.
Trouble, trouble.
I said triple. Triple trouble, trouble.
Double, double trouble.
I said triple.
Double trouble.
All right, folks, you have to use the same word 3 times in this translation. Wow. All right, you can handle it. I know Born to Iron Man can handle it because it seems like he can handle anything you throw his way. The rest of you, I don't know. Well, you can always stand behind him and let him do it. That's I don't know if that's the best method to learning things in life, though. Let someone else do it, and then if they make a mistake, then I'll learn from their mistakes. Okay, it's a good way, but, nothing risked, nothing gained, right? All right, so, quiero ser justo, pero la chica que trabaja en la feria tiene la piel pálida. So, quiero ser justo, pero la chica que trabaja en la feria tiene la piel o piel pálida. Whoa. 3 times. You got to repeat the same word. Quiero ser justo, pero la chica que trabaja en la feria, I'll tell you what, I'll even highlight the words that are the triple trouble. Quiero ser justo, pero la chica que trabaja en la feria tiene la piel pálida. There you go, folks. I can't make it any easier than that. It's your triple trouble. Good luck. Also, I'm going to give you our Say What soundbite for the 4th and final time. Here goes.
Innovative, creative, and tough as nails. That's the American spirit. And that's the all-new GMC Sierra 1500 pickup truck.
Yeah.
Okay. We got that.
First things first, how are the machines doing? You good?
Yeah, good.
All right, cool. Let's take a little picture. Quick question, though. ¿Cómo se dice emparejar en inglés?
No sé.
Come
¿Tu
on.
emparejate?
No, emparejate. Usas Tinder, ¿no?
Sí.
Pues, ¿qué pasa cuando te gusta una chica y hacéis pareja? ¿Hacéis un
Match.
Eso es. Y vamos un paso más allá. Un matchmaker, uno que hace parejas, es Celestina.
Ah, claro, ¿qué sentido tiene?
¿Ves? Lo sabías, pero no sabías que lo sabías.
Así es, This Book is the Shit, el nuevo libro de Alberto Alonso.
Y Damián Moya.
Así da gusto aprender.
That's what I'm talking about. That's right, folks. That's right. All right. Well, let's see what we've got over here. Quiero ser justo, pero tampoco os puedo dar mucho tiempo. Hablando de ser justo, let's see if anybody figured it out. Ooh, Daniela. Daniela said, challenge accepted. I'm not just going to let Born to Iron Man do all the heavy lifting around here. ¿Te sabes esta expresión? To do all the heavy lifting, hacer todo el trabajo aquí. All right, Daniela says, I want to be fair, but the girl working at the fair has fair skin. Fair enough. Fair enough. Me parece justo. Correcto. Great stuff. Wow, and wow. Daniela knocking it out of the park. So yes, fair, F-A-I-R. No es fair, fair. So you've got fair or unfair, es injusto, okay? So I want to be fair, but the girl working at the fair, la feria, has fair skin. And fair skin means that, pálido, blanco, right? Also, fair is more of an antiquated way of saying guapa, hermosa, right? In fact, there's a famous musical and a famous movie called My Fair Lady. No es que es mi chica, mi mujer justa, sino o pálida o de feria, sino ahí quiere decir mi hermosa. De hecho, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Sound familiar? No sé cómo se dice eso en español. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest? Ahí no quiere decir ni el más justo, ni el más pálido. Ahí quiere decir guapa. So there's another hermoso, guapo, precioso. There's another usage of this word fair. Y como os dije también, fair enough, eso lo usamos como me parece bien, está bien, me parece justo, ¿ok? Si alguien dice, oye, ¿qué te parece si hacemos esto y luego lo otro? Fair enough. So, wow. Fair play. Juego limpio, right? So I'm looking at it here. Wow, it has a really 20, 30, 40, 50 uses here. A fair weather friend. Un amigo que solo está ahí para el buen tiempo. ¿No? Cuando tienes un problema, crickets, right? So wow. I'm scrolling. It's like an endless scroll over here. Y tenemos Vanity Fair también, Feria de las Vanidades, Mundo Social, which is a very famous magazine, a fashion magazine. So Daniela, wonderful job. Let's see, Born to Iron Man also taking a stab at it. He says, I want to be fair, but the girl who works at the fair has fair skin. Excellent job, Daniela, and Born to Iron Man. Wow. And that was not a double trouble. That was a triple trouble. All right. Well, we were just talking about movies, right? My Fair Lady. ¿Cómo lo llamáis esa película? No está Chris hoy, porque si no, nos diría en un segundo. My Fair Lady. It's a classic movie. All right. Well, let's see what movie we've got lined up in today's Name That Movie. Name That Movie. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our Name That Movie. And as always, I'll give you a little synopsis, a little summary of the movie where we can learn lots of stuff, and then a little excerpt. We can even learn from the title, as I said. All right, here we go. In 1910s London, snobbish phonetics professor Henry Higgins agrees to a wager that he can make a crude flower girl, hey, we were looking at flowers before, Eliza Doolittle, presentable in high society. Okay, so in 1910s London, en Londres de los 1910, snobbish, snob, you say that word in Spanish, pijillo, ¿no? Un snob, but nosotros no ponemos una E delante. So you can say snobby or snobbish. Ambos significan lo mismo, son adjetivos. El sustantivo es a snob. Don't be a snob. Don't be snobby. So snobbish phonetics professor, o sea, que trabaja con la fonética, Henry Higgins agrees to a wager. A wager is a bet. We looked at that in one of our questions of the weeks. So he agrees to a wager that he can make a crude flower girl. And the word crude is no refinado. Okay, crude. Crudo, si hablamos de petróleo, en bruto, grosero, vulgar para persona, o sea, no refinado. Piénsalo, si es aceite, si es petróleo, es no refinado, si es una persona sin refinar. ¿Ok? Crude. De hecho, a mi hija le encanta unos dibujos animados de unos cavernícolas que se llaman The Crudes. Se escribe C-R-O-O-D-S, pero viene de la palabra crude, right? They're crude, son vulgares, ¿no? Son básicos. So he can make a crude flower girl, Eliza Doolittle, presentable in high society. Presentable, presentable, ¿no? Que le pueden presentar. Presentable, okay? Arreglada, pulcro, right? In high society, en la alta sociedad. All right, let's take a look at the scene that I've chosen here. Professor Henry Higgins says, damn, 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 damn. Now, damn es presa si no lleva la N después. Dique presa. Pero aquí lleva la N, entonces maldito sea, maldito sea, maldito sea. Damn, 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 damn. And then it says in the stage direction, astonished. Atónito. Wow. Right? Parecido, ¿no? La palabra astonished. Atónito. No tiene una S, pero es parecido. And then the professor says, I've grown accustomed to her face. I've gotten used to, I've grown accustomed to her face. ¿No? He llegado a acostumbrarme a su cara. She almost makes the day begin. I've grown accustomed to the tune that she whistles. Night and noon. Noon es mediodía. Her smiles, her frowns. A frown is when you, the opposite of a smile, ceñir el frun. Oh, ya estamos otra vez con el fruncir el ceño. I don't know what the hell this word. Fruncir el ceño. Nunca me va a salir, tío. I'm telling you guys, we all have our crosses in life. Well, mine is frown in Spanish. Ceñir el fruño. ¿Ves? Lo acabo de mirar y no sé si. No, fruncir el ceño. Madre de Dios. See, we all have our problems with the language. It just goes to show. Eso demuestra que, bueno, todos tenemos nuestras luchas cuando llega a vocabulario, okay? So, her smiles, her frowns, her ups, her downs, sus altibajos, are second nature to me now, like breathing out and breathing in, como inhalar, exhalar. I was serenely independent and content before we met. Surely I could always be that way again. And yet, I've grown accustomed to her looks, accustomed to her voice, accustomed to her face. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a winner. It's Carol K. Roller Girl. She also got the triple trouble. Wow. I tried to give you guys some clues. The movie is My Fair Lady. O sea, en español lo he buscado, a ver si tienes razón aquí. Mi Bella Dama, ¿es así? It's a musical that came out in 1964 starring Audrey Hepburn and Rex Harrison. Y en este caso, otra vez, no es Mi Dama Justa o Mi Dama Pálida. Aquí es Preciosa, Guapa, My Fair Lady. Excellent job. All right. My Fair Lady. All right, amigos, we've got so much more to do over here. So why don't we move on to a section where I tell you some of the corniest jokes you're going to hear all day, perhaps all week, and I would probably even say all year. It's time for You're Joking.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar. You're joking.
That's right, folks. That's right. Well, you know what? I figured today we could take a look at some fish jokes. Well, we looked at the word bass, right? I told you, depending on if we're talking about el bajo or lubina, well, then, it's a different pronunciation. In fact, I was just working on that with my daughter this weekend. We do a little game, my daughter and I. We do many games, English classes / games. And I say, okay, I give you the singular, you give me the plural. Okay? I give you the singular, you give me the plural. So I say, okay, dog, dogs, los fáciles, right? Pero luego le meto fungus. And she says, fungi. De hecho, ¿te sabes ese chiste? Why did everybody want to hang out with the mushroom? Because he was a fun guy. Fungi. So that's one of the games that we were playing. And one of the ones we looked at was fish and shrimp. One fish, two fish. We don't say fishes. One shrimp, gamba, two shrimp. So it's a fun game to play because, claro, le voy preguntando los fáciles y luego le meto un foot. Esta no es foots, es feet. Child, esta no es childs, es children. And she loves it. She loves the game. She's like, all right, Daddy, now I give you the singular and you give me the plural, right? So, all right. So why did Batman stop taking Robin fishing? Batman and his sidekick, Robin. Why did Batman stop taking Robin fishing? Because he kept eating all the worms. No? You get it? Well, a robin is un petirrojo. Petirrojo, doble R ahí. No es petirrojo. Petirrojo. You got to roll your R's there, right? So robin, well, that's Batman's sidekick, but also a robin is a kind of bird. So why did Batman stop taking Robin fishing? Because he kept eating all the worms? Seguía comiendo todos los gusanos? All the bait? Bait is cebo, no? All right, I got another one for you. Why did the fish get bad grades? Malas notas. Why did the fish get bad grades? Because it was below sea level. No? Because it was below sea level, bajo el nivel del mar, but also C, if we talk about grading systems in the United States, A, B, C, D, and F. C is average. O sea, si tienes algo por debajo de una C, una D, una F, F es que tienes que repetir. D es muy mal. So C is like, hombre, tienes mucho que mejorar. C como la letra C. You get it now? Why did the fish get bad grades? Because it was below sea level. Oh, I know. I know they're horrible jokes, but hopefully you learned some double meanings. Folks, it's time for Famous Birthday Trivia.
Birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right, folks. It's famous birthdays. Number one, this guy's name, well, his last name is Lubina, al menos porque lo pronuncia él así. Pero podría ser bajo, pero es Lubina. Okay, and his first name is Lanza. O sea, su nombre es Lanza Lubina. You might know him from NSYNC. In fact, he was the famous bass. O sea, ahí está la gracia. O sea, es el que cantaba los bajos. Su nombre se escribe así, pero lo dice como... Tío, tenías que haberlo dicho de la otra forma, ¿no? Como ya decides tú. Well, he was a member of NSYNC. And remember before, I gave you a clue. It's gonna be May. All right, that's number one. Number two, a Belgian-British actress who was born today in 1929, an icon. Let's put it that way. Roman Holiday, Breakfast at Tiffany's, you say Desayuno con Diamantes, My Fair Lady, we looked at that in today's Name That Movie, and so many more. I mean, again, an icon. And last but not least, this American, no, I thought he was American. Oh, well, he's got dual citizenship like me, Canadian and American in this case. And well, his kind of, when everybody knew his name, was with the series Arrested Development. If you have not seen that series, it's awesome. It really is. In fact, it also stars Jason Bateman, and they have a podcast, which I listen to, called Smartless. It's really, really good. But the guy, I mean, he's done everything. He was in Ratatouille, obviously doing voiceovers. He's got a tremendous voice. He also did Batman in the Lego Batman movie. Teen Titans, Monsters versus Aliens, and so much more. The guy is awesome. Again, check out his podcast with Jason Bateman. They starred in the show Arrested Development together, and Sean Hayes. It's called Smartless. O sea, sin, no listo, no, Smartless. All right, let me tell you all three of them over here. Number one, Lance Bass. It's not bass. Le llaman Lance Bass, aunque canta el bass. Eso es rarísimo. Number two, does anyone else see the irony there? Number two, Audrey Hepburn. Not just an actress, but a fashion icon. Audrey Hepburn from My Fair Lady, que ya sabemos los muchos usos de la palabra fair. And last but not least, actor Will Arnett. He has got a voice, man, amazing voice. And in fact, that's going to bring us to our Say What soundbite. This is Will Arnett. I don't remember if it was Jimmy Fallon. He's on a show, a talk show, a late night show. And the presenter, the host says, hey, you do a lot of voiceover work. He goes, yeah, in fact, I was wondering if I could catch up, ponerme al día aquí. You know, we can kill two birds with one stone. Y se pone a hacer locuciones ahí, no saca sus guiones. And so this is him doing a pickup truck, un camión de estos americanos. Innovative, creative, and tough as nails. Eso es como decimos durísimo. Tough as nails. That's the American spirit. And that's the all-new GMC Sierra 1500 pickup truck. And then he says, we got that? ¿Lo tenemos? We got that? Está grabado. He goes, okay, we're just going to keep rolling here because we're rolling. Y empieza a hacer otros dos o tres locuciones. So here he is, birthday boy Will Arnett.
Innovative, creative, and tough as nails. That's the American spirit. And that's the all-new GMC Sierra 1500 pickup truck.
Yeah.
Okay. We're just going to keep rolling here because we're rolling, girl.
Let's roll another.
Rolling.
All right, folks, that's for you. Thank you so much for joining us today on the show. Remember, tomorrow we can hang out in person, not just with me, but all of us are going to be there, and it's going to be a blast. It's our Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. It is the 5th of May, and it's at the Toast Tap Room. Also, remember to stop by our website for all these special deals right now. Amazing deals like I've never seen before. And I'm telling you that, so you guys make the most of it. And we're going to say goodbye with some NSYNC. Hey, I tried to let you know, but it's gonna be May. Yes. All right, you can dance. Go ahead. Sing along with us and dance as we say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow with more. Ciao for now. Bye. Do it.